Right, we're suitably equipped with some soft drinks and some hard-hitting double espressos. We're at the Crown in Pantygelli, north of Abergavenny in the Black Mountains. Welcome to today's EMBN Show. Well, folks, it's been a while. The reason that we're in the Black Mountains is that I've taken Owen on his first ever e-mountain bike ride on the Velotric Summit 1. Hub drive, 750 watt-hour battery, hardtail, 120mm fork.
It was awesome. I mean, I didn't think it was going to be that much fun, but yeah, it was game-changing.
It's great, isn't it? The fact that you can have a bike which is, $1,700 US dollars, and it's capable of just getting out there.
Yeah.
We saw some sheep, we saw some foals, we saw some goats, we saw donkeys and cows.
And we saw a kite and a buzzard.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
And
a lot of bird life.
And some stunning backdrops and some great trails.
Incredible trails, actually. Just natural, flowy, okay, a bit boggy, but awesome.
So, folks, if you haven't seen that video, it's out on the channel now. News this week. Marin, Owen, have got a new e-mountain bike. Well, it's not a new one, it's a rework of an existing one. It's the Alpine Trail E1 and the Alpine Trail E2. The big change with this bike is the fact they've now gone for a Bosch motor over previously having Shimano. 160-170mm travel. Prices starting at $5,699 US dollars. I think that's not bad. Give them the kind of spec. And this has got the multi-track 2LT suspension design. By the way, 750 watt-hour battery, which is very cool. Now, the bike is adjustable via a flip chip, right? It's adjustable on the seat stay, so you can have two settings. You can either have a 347mm bottom bracket with a 443mm chainstay. So what it's adjusting is adjusting the bottom bracket height and the chainstay length.
Nice.
Okay, so that's in the long chainstay setting. It's also got a high bottom bracket, 352mm, with a 435mm chainstay, which is shorter. What's your thinking about chainstay lengths and adjustable flip chip bikes?
I'm all for it. I think
Really?
I think they're great.
You're right. Okay.
I think it's really good because I think that weight balance of where people sit on bikes is really different.
Yeah.
So if you're in between sizes and you're going up or you're going down and you're finding the right bike, the adjustment of that chainstay and getting your centre of gravity, it's not really centred, but probably, rear of centre, and being able to then lengthen the back of the bike, I think it's, rear centre. I think it's good.
It's like, my take on it is I think I'd like a product manager or a designer to be, right, this is the bike, it's 150, 160, this is the geometry, it's the perfect tool for the job in this setting, you don't need to adjust it. I feel like it's like the Specialized Levo is a classic example of a few years ago. You could adjust it infinitely. The problem is you actually need to know what you're doing if you're messing with things like that.
Yeah, you do.
I'd like to see more product managers going, right, this is the bike, this is the geometry numbers, boom.
I think I agree. Less is often more, and I think it would be great if product managers could just sort of decide. But I think some optimization is really good for those people who are in between sizes, because I think if you're not going to have, if you're a brand that's not going to have proportional sort of geometry in terms of, we talk about geometry, we talk about sizing changes, and it's often just front centre that changes. And if you're really tall or kind of like me, a bit shorter.
Yeah, short.
I'm shorter. If you ride a bike with quite a long chainstay, which, does make a bike more stable, it also means that you kind of have to really swing off the back of it to try and make it manual.
It's funny, I was talking to a bike test editor from UK Magazine, and he said, I'm going to mark this bike down. I won't say what bike it was, because it's got, the chainstay's too long. It's got a 460mm chainstay. I'm going to mark it down because it hasn't got a dynamic ride to it. And I'm like, hold on a minute, right? Dynamism is both downhill and an uphill thing, and that's what a lot of these bike testers are forgetting. Is like, if you've got a bike with a long chainstay, it's going to climb well. Because there comes a point where, everyone talks about seat tube angle. Let's have a steep seat tube angle is going to keep your weight balanced. But if things get so steep, as we saw on the power stage in Finale not so long ago, seat tube angle doesn't come into it. It's all about the chainstay length. So a longer chainstay enables you to climb that bike in a more balanced position. Anyway, we're going down a massive rabbit hole.
No, but it's great. It's really interesting. I guess, what are your thoughts in terms of chainstay length and adjustment on bikes? Is it something that you look for? Is it something that just confuses you and combobbles you?
Combobulating. I tell you what's combobulating. Rock the Hill Festival in Geisskopf in Germany on the 13th to 16th of June this year. I like a good festival, don't you?
Festivals are always good. Yeah. That's around my birthday, so I'm sure it'll be excellent.
Yeah, so gate size off to Geisskopf. Folks, the weekend ticket will set you back €65, and the website, I will leave it in the link down below. Next up, new knee and elbow pads from Bluegrass.
Nice.
There's also a bit of other news from Met and Bluegrass. Now, me and Louis went to Lake Como, where Met and Bluegrass is based not so long ago. Very interesting video coming up.
Okay.
From there, I can't go into too much details. But anyway, the brand
such a tease.
The brand say they've refined their knee and elbow pads to offer better comfort, perfect stability, and more protection. So we've got the Aura Core knee, we've got the Aura knee. What does that say? Arto.
Oh no, Aura Core.
Yeah.
Oh, Arto knee. Sorry, yeah. R2. Yeah, a bit like R2. Maybe D2.
Yeah, Aura Core and Aura Elbow. Check them out, folks. Prices start at €70. Now, Owen, I'm going to move on to the subject of affordable budget e-mountain bikes.
Excellent.
Now, as I mentioned, we took a brace of Velotric Summit 1s up into the Black Mountains, and they were incredibly capable.
Yeah.
This is the Prophete Dice 1. This is from a German brand. Their bike is a hardtail, and €1,399. 27.5 wheels, 21 kilos.
Yeah.
100mm front suspension, 250 watt-hour rear hub drive, and a 418 watt-hour battery. Not bad.
Not bad at all. And I think what I experienced, and I guess lots of people out there have probably experienced already if they've ridden them, is just the range extension and how far you can get out there to explore. So no, it's not e-enduro. It's still e-bike, and it's still awesome in terms of you're getting out there, you're getting up, you're getting down, you're getting across really varied and really big terrain. It's great.
I've heard Owen say e-enduro at least 10 times in the last 6 hours. Are you on the verge of something?
No, not at all. No, maybe Rich. I think Rich is keen as.
Right.
Keen as Ken.
Now, a lot of you folks have been talking about recycling batteries and motors. We did see our visit to the e-bike motor centre down in Ringwood in the UK. They've got bases all over the world. This is news from Bros who've partnered up with Beryl. Good old Beryl.
Yeah.
This is a recycling partnership where they get the motors and they either refurbish them or they replace the parts and upgrade the motors.
That's awesome.
It is great, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, there's so many things on e-mountain bikes which are throwaway, but I think this is a really good partnership. Beryl?
Yeah, Beryl. They're an e-bike and e-scooter hire company, and they're in quite a few cities in the UK. I know they're in Bristol, and it means you can get range an e-bike, more of a commuter e-bike, from my experience of seeing them around. I'm sure they do others too, but yeah, they're really sort of like, I guess, it's a cheesy term, but it's a good coverall, e-mobility. So yeah, they're in that space. Getting people moving around in a kind of probably better way than if everyone drove cars. So yeah, part of their sustainability mission. So it fits in with Bros and their mission too. So interesting.
Excellent stuff, Beryl. Well, that's the majority of the news done, Owen, but me and Louis were actually out in Garda a month ago, and we bumped into Johnny Walker, Wax Hacks. Been on the channel many times before. Guy. An enduro and trials guy. He has done the Paris Dakar previously.
Ooh.
Anyhow, he's absolutely, totally into the tech of e-mountain bikes. And I said, John, you need to go and ride the Pinion MGU bike.
Yeah.
So what he did, he managed to get a ride on the new Nikolai Saturn Swift, which had the Pinion MGU and the Gates carbon drive on the back there. So this is what Johnny thought of the Pinion bike after his ride. Okay, John, the camera's rolling, so we both need to kind of keep it in. So we're joined by Johnny Wak Walker. We've seen Johnny on the channel many times with this fantastic Trek Rail, full power bike weighing in 19 kilos. John, Riva del Garda, over 2,000 e-mountain bikes to be able to test. loads of different diversity here. You've been out and ridden some of them. What I want to know is, you took the new Nikolai Satin 16 out with the pinion motor and the belt drive 160mm travel. Yeah. Give us your thoughts about that bike, or give everyone your thoughts about that bike.
Thoughts on that? It's really good, fantastic, lovely frame design, really good aesthetically, and the motor blows me away.
That really?
Yeah, blows me away. I think that they are going to be the future. That motor is much quieter than some other bikes that I've rode with the same motoring. Whether it's the aluminium frame, whether they've got it a different configuration in the frame or what, but they seem to, they're running a different chain tensioner. Whether that makes it quieter, I'm not sure. But the motor is really nice. A little bit noisy, first, second, third, fourth. A little bit of a click when you go to fifth. The noise dies down. Then when you go from fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, another little click. Ninth, the motor goes silent.
Wow. And what about the kind of climbing power of the motor?
Climbing power, I've just done a tech climb up there. And I was filming on my phone camera, couldn't hold the camera and do the climb. So I've just done a shot where really technical. And the thing is, with that motor, you can put it in auto, it'll change down. When you stop, it'll go straight down to fourth gear. You can change gear on as you stopped. You can just press the gear, it'll go down, up or down, any gear.
Which that makes different to all other e-mountain bikes out there.
Other e-bikes. Or, you've got to lift your back wheel up, spin your pedals, change gear. With the pinion motor, you just press the gear change and it'll go down into any gear you want. So when you set off on a hill, you change down into first gear, set off, and it's a smooth intake of power.
What do you think about? There's so much to talk about. I mean, reliability. What about that? I mean, John, you've ridden. You've done Paris Dakar, or you actually say Paris? You say Paris Dakar, don't you? Paris Dakar. John's also got this. Look, John's got the rainbow stripes there, world downhill champion. But John, reliability. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, because the pinion motor and gearbox runs in oil, it keeps so they say, keeps the water out. So if oil's not coming out, water's not getting in. You know what I mean? If oil's coming out, then that means the seal is letting water in. But, they say that an oil change every 10,000 K.
Okay, look, all right. It sounds to me like you're into it. The bottom line, would you actually own a motor gearbox unit bike?
Yes.
Whoa, right, okay. Well, that's pretty definitive.
It's one of my top 3 picks, and I would own one.
So that's a big statement, isn't it? He would buy one.
I mean, there's often lots of conversation, loads of comments. We love your comments. Please make more about just belt drives and gearboxes, them being the future. We did one on kind of GMBN Tech recently, and the comments went wild. Mm-hmm. So to have this confirmation of it is a future and people want to spend their hard cash on it. Yeah. It's exciting to see. Exciting to see which mainstream brands are going to do it next.
I think certainly we should be seeing gearbox bikes on downhill bikes. We also tested something different a few weeks ago. We went out riding with Klaus Fleischer, who's the CEO of Bosch e-bike systems.
Okay, yep.
He had a 3x3 geared hub on the back, electronic. I swear to God, Owen, the smoothest, quietest, fastest gear shifting I've ever experienced on any mountain bike ever.
Wow.
Absolutely mind-blowing.
So like classified +1, because their rear hub is only 2-speed, so that's super interesting.
So it's 9 gears altogether. But the key point is, like some of you guys commented, the Pinion MGU is a far better setup. But what you need to understand is that, Klaus and the people at Bosch are actually just experimenting with these different drives. Obviously the kind of combined unit probably will be the answer longer term, but to have that shifting, which is and the bike was so quiet, absolutely quiet. So, interesting times for the motor gearbox scene.
It's exciting.
Right, time for cool places. I have to say again, thanks to the folks at the Crown in Pantagethley for hosting us. Really was a lifesaver. Come and get yourselves a beer and some food here.
Or a fantastic espresso.
Fantastic espresso. Right, cool places. Right, not so far from here, in Van Gehirich, which is near Ystra Gunlais. This is Mark, overlooking Cry Reservoir from the peak of Van Gehirich. You say Van Gehirich?
Van Gehirich.
Van Gehirich. And then moving on to Norway, Canyons Drive on Underdog. Probably one of the best e-mountain bikes in the world. I say that because it's like Fabian Burrell's World Cup winning Strive on. It's 4,600 euros.
Yeah.
Incredible bike.
I believe Rich has one.
He does.
Yeah.
This is snow-free at the top. Norwegian mountains equals epic climbs and descents. Upgraded Strive on with XT gearing and brakes, 155 cranks, 38mm riser bar, epic speed machine. Riser bars, I did notice that Dakota Norton was on high bars at the World Cup in Poland.
Apparently 75, 80 mil bars.
So, when we went to California, to Downeyville a few years ago, Craig Corwin, who's a genius when it comes to setting up e-mountain bikes, he gave me his Cannondale Matera with high-rise bars.
Ah, yeah.
And I rode it, and I thought, do you know what? I didn't say much. I thought, let's ponder this.
Yeah.
I've been meaning to fit some on my bike ever since. So,
right.
Craig Corwin, ahead of the curve, big time. Back to cool places. What about this then? Channel Islands, Friday evening ride. Enjoying a Friday evening ride on the local trails in the island of Jersey.
Lovely.
And then finally...
Wave at Rich if you see him.
Finally in Zlatibor in Serbia. What a cool place.
Very cool.
Thanks, folks, for sending your cool places.
I believe the uploader is now working. So if you haven't uploaded, you can upload again. So get in there.
Comments, Owen?
Yeah.
Power Stage, did you see it?
I did. It was really good. It was really hard, but really good. I think me and Martin chatted about it, maybe in the office, maybe on the show, but I think it was just awesome to see.
It is awesome. I think it's really early days. To be like millimeters away from the riders and you can see the pain and it's a hugely pressurized environment to be riding a World Cup event with all those people with their eyes on you, just like this.
Yeah.
It's like terrifying.
Yeah, there's no escape.
It's terrifying.
You can't put a tyre knob or lug wrong.
You can't.
Interesting comment here from CTR269.
Yeah.
He said, in future, please can you provide more coverage of the total climb? It's really interesting. So it's not just you that's a massive fan, or me.
Yeah, I think, like I said, it's really early days. I'm really happy that you guys, are into this whole business of climbing e-mountain bikes, because I think there's so much to learn. And it's really exciting. You can improve your technical skills, your balancing skills, your physical skills, or your physical fitness. There is so much involved in it.
I think, just as being the newbie, I found it fascinating today that all the kind of like skills that I'd got from mountain biking, I'd got before kind of port over, but then there's so much where you were just able to gap ahead of me. I've got so much to learn is what I'm trying to say in a long way.
Are you saying you'd like to come on another e-mountain bike ride?
Basically, yeah.
I reckon the Neuron on Fly could be the next ride.
Right, okay.
What else have we got here?
We've got more from, this is the Bodelicious, I believe, Belodicious Bing 3950. Sorry, that was much easier for you to type than me to say. But yeah, he's just agreeing. What Martin said, the power stage of the EDR makes the race not only more interesting than the acoustic EDR, controversial but I agree, but also makes it more complete, an all-round display of talent, strength and strategy. Completely agree with you.
Wow.
I think it just opens it up. Maybe
talent, strength and strategy.
Does
Does
Enduro need to copy it?
Fantastic.
Does Enduro need to have climbing stages back?
That's an incredible comment. Thank you so much. And then the last one, Owen, is...
this was just talking about... me and Martin were talking about the Lidl, the Fisher bike that's available from Lidl, under 2,000 euros. And actually, we were saying the spec's pretty good. We had a lot of commenters. People saying that, he bought a Trek Rail XT... 6,000 miles, great. Don't buy crap bikes that you see on the EMBN channel. Only buy the main brands. I mean, it's kind of harsh because I remember reading some of the other comments where people had bought Fisher bikes and actually they were quite pleased by the spec of them.
Yeah.
And I think it's this thing of like, yes, if you're going to do loads of mountain biking and you know what e-mountain biking you're going to do, then yeah, you can invest lots. But if you're unsure, I think this entry point of bikes, and this little Fisher bike is in there, I think it just opens it up. So we shouldn't be too harsh.
It's funny, isn't it? Because I was riding the Velotric Summit 1 up in the hills here today, and on the fine cut sheep tracks, it's immense fun. But on the rougher stuff, obviously Louis is riding my Canyon Strive on, and you get back on a bike like that, and it's like, I mean, it is the Rolls Royce of, maybe Rolls Royce is not the right term to use. Maybe it's the Lamborghini.
Yeah.
What would be the right modern day thing to say? Louis, you wouldn't use Rolls Royce, would you?
Subaru?
Subaru?
Subaru? No, come on. Modern WRC.
State of the art.
Toyota. Well, yeah.
Toyota's the biggest car manufacturer in the world.
Oh, there you go.
Or is it? Let us know, folks. That's it for the comments this week. I mean, let's keep talking e-mountain bike hill climbing. What is it again? Talent, strength, and strategy.
Yeah, no, big call there.
Big
if
one.
you're an EDR racer and you don't like that, put in the comments below. You might not be watching it because this is on an e-bike channel, but if you are, or if you're not, actually even better, if you've read that and you know somebody who is an EDR racer or a big fan of the Enduro, send it to them, share it, and let us know what their comments are. It'd be great.
Yeah, we'll have a pint down the Crown in Pantagelli. Right, bike fault. Craig, I haven't done a bike fault for months. This is Top of the Devil Slide with Snickers. Snickers must be the trail dog.
Ah, yeah.
Hell's Gate State Park, Lewiston, Idaho.
Is it Potato State? I think it is.
Giant Talon 3 e-bike. That's a nice shot. What about this then, Owen? My beloved Levo Comp, 2022 Levo Comp, upgraded the fork to Rock Trip Seb. This is in Sedona, Arizona. Have you been to Sedona?
No.
Yes, you have.
No, I
You've
haven't.
been with him.
No, I haven't.
I've seen pictures of you.
No, I've genuinely not been to Sedona. We went to a 24-hour race and I spanned, but it wasn't in Sedona.
Damn.
Yeah, I know. I'm really gutted because there's meant to be loads of cosmic vibes there.
Oh,
I know
totally,
I'm meant to be looking at kind of like the bike, but I'm easily distracted because that landscape, that Arizona backdrop.
The Red Rock.
Yeah,
Insane.
very distracting. But the Levo looks good too, so yeah.
Insane. Right, next up, folks, is...
Ooh, that looks good.
Next up, Pivot Shuttle, 2024 Pivot Shuttle LT. First ride on the EP801 overlooking Dublin Bay.
Very good.
By the way, Levo is a super nice.
Super nice.
Super
there
nice.
you go. Well, I'll say
Yeah. go
Dublin
on.
Bay is super nice. Very good trails in Wicklow. I used to live in Dublin and the trails there are awesome. You can see why there's so many good enduro races.
This is interesting. This is riding in Northern California. This is a Lunar Cycle Apollo with a 160mm fork, 160 newton Bafang motor. That's a double espresso. Always gets me. And 1,100 watt-hour battery. So obviously, this whole business of entry-level e-mountain bikes. There's class 1, class 2, class 3.
Yep.
So it's important to understand there's different access laws and legality in different parts of the world. So obviously this bike is legal where this gentleman is. And it's a nice. It's a nice.
Yeah, I'm going to say super nice, actually.
Oh, super nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, just because he kind of made a comment about how he used to be into radio-controlled planes, which is great. Radio-controlled cars are also fun. But I think it's interesting that he's kind of gone back to that. He used to race in the 80s, and now through the power of the e-bike, he's back on...
72.
Yeah, he's back.
Magoo is 72. It's a super nice.
Yeah.
What's some fantastic shots? I really like that Arizona Sedona
Arizona's
shot.
stunning.
So nice.
You should get out to America and do some e-biking there. It'd be great.
Yes, this is a different question.
Oh.
Moving on. Socialising.
Yes, I've heard of the socials. They're very good.
Crown of Pantagelli.
It would be an excellent place for IRL, I believe it's called, socialising.
Okay, well, IPA. That too.
Yeah, you could have that in your IRL.
Gabriel Wibmer. Wibmer?
I presume it must be a Vidma.
Wibmer. Doing a double to nose wheelie. Is it called a nose wheelie? No, it's not called a nose wheelie. It's called an endo.
But it's to me and Yeah, I don't know.
But what's the bit at the end which he's doing where he falls over the handlebars?
Well, it looks like he's doing the classic, which I learnt in the 90s, the no-foot endo.
Okay, right, yeah.
Stoppy.
Stoppy.
Stoppy is what it's called.
Okay, stoppy.
But he tries to end it in a no-foot, but then he goes to no-foot to OTB.
There you
See,
go.
I'm just like tough with all my down with the kids language, aren't I?
Yes,
Feels so cool.
Do you know, it's
Sick.
great to be part of it.
Yeah.
Sometimes the best rides happen when you get lost. This is in Santa Cruz. April in Santa Cruz.
These trails look amazing.
Yeah.
Like a bigger version of
Is-
some of the woods that I ride back home.
Is it up by the university? Possibly.
Ooh.
Very cool though. And then finally, good old Hans Ray.
Legend.
The legend himself. Left turn definitely recommended.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, like Hans is rad full stop, but that drop is burly.
Absolutely. That's it for this week's show. Owen, what a fantastic time we've had in the Black Mountains.
Amazing. Really incredible.
I think we need to step it up another gear on our next ride.
That would be amazing. Yeah, I would like that a lot.
Yeah.
More gears, maybe full suspension, getting greedy.
Ooh, I like it. Coming up on the channel the next few weeks, guys, we're having a look at some of the future tech of e-mounted bikes, which might be happening over the next few years. And also at the Bosch e-bike flow app, how to get the best out of that, which is a fantastic tool for, well, expanding the possibilities of your e-bike. Thanks
Sounds
for joining
great.
us, and we'll see you soon.